Hey guys, and welcome to my stimulus package update and stimulus check update. Wow, I haven't said those words in so long. I want you guys to know that I missed you more than you missed me, and I'm happy I'm back here for you with another video just to give you my perspective on everything that's been going on.
This is actually a pretty exciting concept that is floating around out there once again. In fact, as I've been doing my research, I've come across this a couple times, and I want to lay it out for you in this video. Now, this is actually a concept that's been around for many decades. It's been floating around out there, but now that we have all of these guaranteed basic income programs popping up, in other words, monthly checks on an ongoing basis for long periods of time focused on the low income, this is another one of those ideas that is popping up once again and actually getting a lot of traction and support for it. So I want to lay it out for you in this video and actually give you some examples of what this would actually look like. Alright, so kind of the basic idea behind this is a reverse tax, or like a negative tax. So you might be wondering, what does that actually mean? Let me lay this out for you a little bit more clearly. So I think all of us recognize how taxes work, right? Maybe you have an income and they tax a percentage of it. You go out to the store and you spend some money and they tax you a certain percentage, right? Basically paying money into the state or the federal government, mostly the federal government, and it's a percentage based on our income, how much we spend at a store, purchases, things like this. It's all based on a percentage, right? So that's how a tax works. We all understand this, right? We all pay taxes to some degree on pretty much everything, right? However, when it comes to a reverse tax or a negative tax, basically it works the opposite direction. The IRS sends us money. Sounds like a pretty cool concept, right? I like it. Sounds like a pretty cool thing. But let me lay it out a little bit more clearly, because that just, that's one element of how this whole thing is actually being laid out for us. So what it comes down to is the idea by economists and the people who are actually presenting these ideas are basically saying this. Right here, right now in 2022, the annual median household income in this country is just below $70,000. So basically, the idea behind this is to lay it all out and make sure that everybody is brought up to the median household income. Again, roughly $70,000. It's a little bit less than that, but just for rounding purposes, I'm just saying $70,000 just to make it a nice round number for it. It's a little less. It's like $69,000 and some change, but I'm just saying let's just use $70,000. So what the idea behind this is, bring everybody up to the median household income. Again, $70,000 as of right now. So here's how this whole thing would lay out. And again, they would want to do this on an ongoing monthly basis. So let me give you some quick examples. Basically what they do is they look at the income of everybody and they say anybody under the median household income, again, $70,000, we would be bringing these individuals up to the median household income by sending them a monthly check on an ongoing monthly basis. So let's just lay this out here a little bit more clearly. So let's just say, for example, somebody works a job and they earn $20,000, or somebody earns monthly income from a program like Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB. Doesn't matter. Income is income, right? But anyway, let's just say that income on an ongoing annual basis is $20,000. Now I get it. A lot of people who receive monthly benefits of Social Security, SSDI, things like this, it's not $20,000 for the vast majority of people. I'm just using $20,000 as a quick example, just to kind of better lay out this example here. So basically what they do is they look at the income and say, okay, based on your earnings, you have an annual income of $20,000. Now, we want to bring everybody up to the median household income, which is $70,000. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take $70,000, which is where we want you to be. We're going to minus off your other income, which is $20,000, again, from this example. And then they say, we're going to fill in the gap with $50,000 of income from the IRS sent out to these individuals on an ongoing monthly basis. Not a one-time lump sum payment, but rather monthly payments going forward. So like monthly stipends. So I did run the math on that, and it basically comes out to about $4,100 every single month going forward for the entire year to bring somebody up in this exact example up to that $70,000 of median household income. Kind of makes sense about that? Now here's the caveat. If, in this example, let's just say that the IRS or whoever calculates this information calculates it and say, okay, we're going to give you $4,100 per month on an ongoing basis for the entire year to bring you up to the median household income. But let's just say throughout the course of the year, your income jumps up and you make $75,000. They're going to look at it at the end of the year and say, oh, it looks like we gave you a little bit too much. We overpaid by $5,000 because your income went above the median household income and we were giving you those monthly stipends. We need to come back in now and take $5,000 back. Get what I'm saying? So there would be a little bit of negative behind this, but for the most part, it would be a pretty cool concept. Now again, I just have to be very, very clear about this. Of course, this is just another one of those concepts that is floating around out there. No promises that anything like this would actually happen, or if it did, it's certainly not going to be happening anytime soon. However, why I wanted to lay this out for you is because, first off, this is actually one of these ideas that's been floating around for a very, very long time. In fact, this idea was originally coined by two very, very big names, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us here in the community already know these people. Martin Luther King Jr. and Milton Friedman, right? Two very, very big people who were very influential years past. So these are the people who actually said, we've got to look out for the lower income and make sure that these individuals are brought up to the median household income. That's where these ideas actually originated from. So this is just one of those concepts out there, again, especially during a time right now when we're seeing all of these guaranteed basic income programs popping up all over the country. In other words, monthly checks on an ongoing basis for the low income. So very interesting to see this idea coming up once again. Now, would this ever happen? Honestly, I have no clue. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, for sure this is going to happen. I'm simply telling you, this is just another one of these ideas that is being tossed around, floating around out there that they're actually exploring to think, what can we do to help out the low income? Now, if I actually had to put bets on it and say, okay, out of all these ideas out there, what's actually going to happen? I'd probably put this one near the end of the list. Even though it's a really cool concept, honestly, I think the first step before we jump into it and start sending everybody $70,000 a year, honestly, I would believe something more along the lines of bringing everybody up to at least the federal poverty line would probably be the next step in this process before they just start running out and sending out $70,000 in checks every single year. You know what I mean? So my point is, I'm not saying it's totally off the table, but at the same time, let's be realistic at the same time and be like, okay, is this really going to happen? Well, I mean, it could someday, but realistically, something that would be much more likely would be probably ongoing monthly checks, maybe in the amount of $500, $1,000, maybe $1,200, maybe $1,500, who knows, something like that. I think, in my honest opinion, would probably be way more realistic to start anyway. I don't think they'd jump right into it and say, okay, $5,000 for everybody going forward. That'd be amazing, but at the same time, it's just not all that realistic to start. But again, during a time when guaranteed basic income is becoming very, very popular, it's just one of these things we got to examine a little bit more closely. Now remember, as of late 2019, guaranteed basic income almost wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even, I mean, of course, it was an idea, it was a concept, it was something that people knew about, but for the most part, here in the United States, guaranteed basic income essentially wasn't even a thought or a consideration in the United States up until late 2019 when that first guaranteed basic income program was launched in Stockton, California. That's what kicked it off, and ever since then, it's just been accelerating. You've seen here, if you've been watching for the videos for a while now, you know that I come back on a pretty regular basis, and I tell you, okay, here's the new program. You know, this group of people in this city, this state, this county, this location is going to be getting $500 per month for, you know, the next 2 years, and here's how you can apply. We've talked about so many of these programs. In fact, around the country right now, there are tons of these programs, and there are many, many more to come, especially right now when states are flush with billions and billions of dollars of cash, and they honestly don't know what to do with it. So they're making all these programs, and they're sending them out to the low income, as well as, you know, doing all their little projects. But my point is, these programs are going to become much more popular, and they're going to be coming up everywhere all around the country. And then it's only a matter of time until we get one of these on a nationwide level. Anyway, I've been seeing this a few times pop up, and I thought, very interesting. I'd love to share this with the community. Again, I don't want to say for sure that this is coming at all, but I also don't want to say that this is completely off the table. If it does happen, honestly, I do think it'd be something more along the lines of a nationwide guaranteed basic income program, probably anywhere between $500 and maybe $1,200 a month, I think would be realistic. I don't think the IRS is going to jump out and start sending everybody $4,000, $5,000 a month Not right now anyway. Again, just being totally honest with you, completely transparent, as that is kind of like the main premise behind what I do here on the channel. It is always very important to me to bring you the honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information, but I do like to share things like this with you as well, just because it's a very interesting concept and it goes back many, many decades from when this idea was actually introduced and when these things were actually floating around.
Alright guys, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really missed you. Hopefully I'll see you here again very, very soon. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything we talked about here in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Please hit the like button on the video, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos for you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.